Well, hello and welcome. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. We had a crazy weekend. We drove to Kansas and watched our oldest daughter run track. She runs for Angelo State. And so it was so fun. We're tired, but it was such a good trip. We had grabbed Allie on the way and made the trek to Kansas and back. So it was super fun. But I was kind of thinking about like kind of where our team is. We've got a lot of newer girls, some that are younger, and maybe have never done a reset before. And it's like, we're talking about free reset, and it's hard to talk about something that you don't really understand. And so
Yeah.
I thought this would be a really good opportunity for us to go over what exactly reset is and how to talk about it. So let me share my screen with you. And if at any point during this you have questions, don't hesitate to unmute and ask. Where did that go? Okay, can you guys see this? My, is it projecting right? It was just my screen a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. All right, so we will get down to the nitty gritty. Okay, so first of all, what exactly is Reset? It is a 3-day nutritionally supported fast. It's formulated to promote metabolic reset, hence the name, which I feel like it resets a lot of things, not just your metabolism. It will also support your overall health journey. It promotes healthy cellular renewal, cellular metabolism, which also promotes cellular renewal. If you were on Jordan's call recently, we talked about Restore, and Restore is in Reset. It's actually the last step of each day, and that is what really helps us get into good liver detox and cellular renewal. It also supports the breakdown of stored fat, and we'll talk a little bit more about some of these stages a little more in depth in just a second. It also equips the body to burn fat as an energy source and supports conversion of fat to energy. So during day one, I made some notes because I didn't want to botch this, but during day one, your body recognizes, hey, something's different. My diet's different. And it actually starts tapping into your carbs that are stored in your liver and your muscles to give your body the energy it needs to do its normal functions throughout the day. And then once it's depleted those carb stores, it starts burning fat. That's one of the reasons that people lose 6 to 8 pounds. One of the reasons that they quit having the cravings. And on this first day, people are going to feel a little hungry, a little fatigued. If you're like me, maybe a little angry. Um, and then as you move into day two, your body actually is now full blown fat burning mode. So we've used up the carbs, and your body is burning the fat that is in your muscles, in your body. And you actually hit ketosis, which I know keto diet was this big thing recently, and one of the reasons that it was great is because it did the same thing. It would burn fat. But you had to be really careful on the keto diet because if you got too much into ketosis and you started having ketone spilling, you're actually like producing acetone in your body. And it's really, really bad for you, and it can cause a whole host of other problems. So people who were doing it hardcore were having to like test their urine, all kinds of crazy things to make sure that they didn't go too far and actually start metabolizing their muscles. So this is a really safe way to get into that ketosis, burn fat quickly and efficiently without it getting you to the point where it's dangerous. I have a feeling that's one of the reasons they recommend only doing it as often as once a month. Because if you do it too much, then it can actually start breaking down muscle, and we don't want to do that. Um,
I have something to add to that too, Amy. I'm
yeah.
so glad you talked about that ketosis because actually men and women, our hormones are obviously different, and
Mhm.
it is not good for women to be in ketosis in long term. And a lot of people don't know that. They want to be on a keto diet, and it's not good for your hormones, like you were talking about spilling those ketones. And so I think the reset is so perfect for women because it's 3 days, it's resetting it, and you're not in ketosis long term. So glad you touched on that.
Yeah, and not to mention the fact that women, more than men, typically have a harder time burning fat. We store it in different places, hello, muffin top. And so, like for women to get into that fat burning stage and have that for a good couple solid days, that's huge. And then what happens is because we are cutting those carbs and clearing out those cravings, then it's like you can continue a good healthy lifestyle afterwards. Once we hit day three, which y'all, after day two, they said you should be feeling more mental clarity and improved energy. By the end of day two, I've had such a horrible headache that I'm just ready to go to bed, you know? But then when I wake up on day three, I actually do feel really good. I've usually slept better. I do feel like my energy is better. I do have more mental clarity, but getting through that day two, when your body's like pulling those toxins out and actually burning that stuff and disposing of it, that's a day that is usually kind of difficult and people may experience more detox symptoms. But once you get to day three, you're kind of in the home stretch. Mentally, you're like, okay, it sucked for the first 2 days. I can suck it up one more day to get through this. And just the mental, emotional challenge of getting through a reset is so rewarding. And that's one of the things that I have had so many people say is just how proud they were of themselves for getting through it. But on day three, you're in peak fat burning mode. And this is when your cellular renewal is optimal. Your cells don't have all that junk. You've had 3 days now of getting into restore. Your body is not fighting a bunch of junk. There's not a bunch of toxins you're adding with your food. There's not a bunch of sugars and carbs and all of that floating around so that your body can actually work on renewing the cells. Cravings are gone. And at this point, you should have clearer, sharper thinking on into day four when we get to start people on their product. So it's this whole cool sciencey thing. If you want to learn more about it, I would definitely recommend getting on the Plexus Go app and look at some of the resources that they have. I have a video that I send anytime that I'm talking about reset with people. I send this video and it literally is what happens in your body during a 3 day reset. It's a 3 minute video. It breaks it down pretty quickly, pretty simply, basically says all of these same things. And so it's great for helping educate people without you having to know all of this or be able to regurgitate it. And then they have great videos for each day of reset also that I like to send my people. But we'll get in on that a little more in a minute. So who is reset for? I mean, obviously we talked about men and women. It's really perfect for anyone who is needing a simple, effective plan to help reset their system. I really love it, really for anybody who is wanting to start on Triplex. Just because I love the fact that it detoxes your system in the 3 days instead of like you start Triplex and you get a couple weeks into it and then you start really hitting detox. This kind of just like wipes the slate clean and gives you this clean canvas for our other products to come in and do their best work. It's a great kickstart to a new wellness routine. And it really, in my opinion, gets people the faster results. So where you're looking at a month to 6 weeks before they start noticing some things without reset, usually within a couple of weeks after reset, people are starting to notice, hey, I don't crave stuff anymore, or I noticed that my pants fit different, or it's just those results come just a little bit sooner. It is not recommended during pregnancy. That's something definitely that is said on the website. Jordan, have you ever tried doing it while pregnant? No. Okay. Specifically, Restore is not recommended during pregnancy or nursing. Reset can be done. With a nursing mama can do it. But definitely recommend add in extra protein, make sure they're hydrating a lot, and avoid Restore because the stuff that's in Restore is not good for the baby. Their body just can't handle that. So I would recommend that they talk to their doctor before they do anything like this. So, questions on reset before we move on?
Okay, there's a side note about Restore. I definitely have done Restore like 2 or 3 times while breastfeeding during the reset, and
Mhm.
nothing happened. You didn't hear that from me, but that don't do it. Don't be like me.
Yeah, well, it's just better safe than sorry. If somebody asks, it's better to err on the side of caution than if we said, well, I had this friend that did it once and she didn't have any issues, and then they do it and their baby has issues, I mean, it's not a good look, but but I'm glad it was good for you, Jordan. Okay, so I I love that sorry, that there's a lot of products that people get to try and reset. I think that's one of the perks of it. But if you've never done a reset, this is everything that comes in it. You get hydrate, you get lean, you get hunger control. There's two different soups, the Smart Snack, the Active, and the Restore. And you can do it in any order as long as you end with Restore. I always start with the lean. Some people like to start with the hydrate, but I like to have the lean and then in a couple of hours have the hydrate and then closer to lunch have the slim just because I get so hungry, I've got to have something. Um, so it's it's really a lot of different products, but it's a low calorie consumption. I think it's around I want to say it's around like 900 calories. So it's really, really low, which is one of the reasons that your body goes into this fat burning mode. Um, so they've improved the flavors in the last year. I think last year at Super Saturday was when they released the new flavors of the Smart Snack and the soups. So I actually really love all of the flavors. Had more people complain about the flavors prior to the release of these. Now I have people that are like, "Oh, I really liked all the stuff in it." So good stuff. Okay, so some tips about how to hang on, sorry, I've got to move my little person thingy here. I can see y'all and it's like covering up some of my stuff I can't see. Come on, mouse. Okay, there we go. All right, so helpful tips to help people get through reset. I always tell them make sure you're getting lots of sleep. Aim for 7 to 9 hours. Some people maybe like if they're like me by 8:30, I'm like, forget it. I'm going to bed because I'm so hungry. At least I'll sleep through it. But it's a good thing too because during that time your body is able to, kind of rest and do some healing and do some cellular renewal. And then yes, it definitely helps get through those 3 days. I tell them drink lots of water because drinking lots of water is going to help their system flush faster. The hydrate is great for keeping your system hydrated, but in addition to the soups and everything, they need to be drinking lots of water. I actually had a lady, she told me, she was like, I hate water. I can't drink water. I was like, I've actually never heard that before. She was like, it makes me gag. And so I was like, okay, well, let's talk through this. So I ended up telling her, she was like, well, can I drink ginger ale? I was like, no. So we talked about just doing fizzy water. Or I think what she ended up doing was just putting lots of lime and lots of lemon in her water, which isn't ideal if you're doing a hard reset, but it's better than not drinking water. And actually, now she drinks more water than she used to. So I guess she got over that. Limit your exercise to only light duty. I don't recommend lifting weights or going for long runs. Walking, doing light exercise is best, just because your body's in such a calorie deficit that too much exercise can actually, it can be really hard on your body. Try to avoid caffeine, but if you need your morning coffee, I recommend mixing it with your protein shake. I have lots of people that have done that and they really love it. I personally don't love it because I think the protein gets thick, and so I would just rather not have my coffee. If they have to have their coffee or tea, they need to drink it black, plain, no sweeteners, nothing. The soups can be mixed together. We like to do that a lot just to switch it up, or you can add some basic herbs. I tell my people don't add anything in it that has like MSG, a lot of additives, a lot of sodium, or preservatives. So I try to stick with just like dried flakes, garlic powder, basil, things like that to enhance the flavor, but not add a bunch of trash to it. And with Restore, that is one I feel like they've improved. I don't know if they did or not, but I prefer it warm with lemon. Otherwise, I used to have a really hard time getting it down. So, if you've ever heard us talk about a hard reset versus a soft reset, when they get the packet and there's a little booklet in it and it talks about the difference in a hard and soft reset. Soft reset is when you can add a couple of things in if necessary, but they don't recommend adding in a bunch of stuff unless you have to. If you're going to have coffee, add it to your lean or keep it black. Use almond milk or non-fat milk in the lean. And you can either have a half an apple, 5 to 8 almonds, or a fourth a cup of cucumbers, carrots, or celery. If I get to that point, I'm like, celery is basically air, so I might as well just do the hard reset. But some people, like if they have blood sugar problems, they may need to add something in. I had one lady that had really bad blood sugar issues prior to starting Plexus, and she added in a little bit of plain chicken breast just because she had real bad blood sugar crashes. After she did her reset and started her triplex, she no longer has blood sugar crashes. So it's great. Hard reset is you only consume exactly what's in the box, nothing more. No coffee. You use only water in your lean, and you don't have any outside food no, except for just what's in the box. So it's tough, but it's super effective. Okay, during the reset, it's important that your person feels really supported. It is mentally taxing, and if they feel like they can get off the hook, they will. I mean, it's like sometimes just the mental battle around food is really hard. And so if they feel like they're accountable to someone and somebody's actually doing it with them, they're going to be more successful. And Jordan and Madeline Ruth may have great recommendations of what they do with their customers on Reset. But what I love to do that has been really effective is every day, and I schedule the messages out ahead of time. But each day of reset, I send them a text in the morning that just kind of tells them what to expect. And just a little bit of encouragement with the video from Plexus that is the reset for that day. So, like reset video day one. And it kind of tells them again what to expect. And then I send them a scripture. The night before, I send them like reset hacks, just some things to help them, kind of what we just talked about, the coffee, the mixing your soups, all of that. So then I do day one. So each day I do the corresponding video, a little bit of encouragement, and then a scripture. And then every evening I check in with them and just to find out, like, hey, how's it going? How are you feeling? Tell me what you experienced today, so that I can help them through anything, detox symptoms that they may be having. Because if you're not asking them, they may not tell you, and then they might just quit. And we want them to get through this. So you just want to make sure that they feel really supported. This is also a great opportunity to start that open communication for customer care with your clients. I've found that the people that do reset communicate with me better after they've started their products than people who just start on triplex. I don't know why. I guess it's just like they know I'm there for them, and so they just communicate with me better. So let this be a great opportunity for you to build that relationship. Okay, let's talk a little bit about how to market this reset. I know you guys have seen a ton of before and after stuff floating around. There's some really great ones on our team. I know Taylor Sweely has a really great one. Brittany Duke has a good one. There's just lots of people. I think Jordan has a really good one too, before and after. I've been too much of a chicken to take before and after pictures and actually share them. So I really applaud the people that have done it. So, and I'm happy to share their pictures. But share results in your stories and on your feed. If you have a personal testimony about reset, don't be afraid to go live and talk about it. Don't be afraid to, even if you don't have before and after pictures, don't be afraid to go in there and talk about your experience with reset and share somebody else's pictures. That's okay. But people need to know if it really works because they're about to jump off in something that can be uncomfortable and feel a little bit scary. Like I mentioned, oh, Cody said she shared hers right before the call and she hated it. Cody, did you share pictures or did you just share your testimony? Oh, pigs. Way to go, girl. I'm impressed. Atta girl. But like I said before, if you can go live and share what your experience was, and just open it up to questions if you're feeling so bold. You can even do an unboxing. Your reset comes in and say it's your first one, you've never done it before. Unbox it and be like, hey, I just got my reset. I'm really excited about it. And talk about all the different products that are in there and how you're excited to try some of the flavors. Um, I mean, it's a really cool way to showcase all of the different things that we have. This is also a really good time to talk about the savings. Free reset doesn't happen all of the time. It's $119 value. So I don't know anybody who doesn't like free stuff. So when you say you can get $119 worth of product for free and have the opportunity to try some of our other most popular products, people are like, oh, really? And I'll lose weight? Okay, So be bold in talking about all the perks of what Reset is, how it's going to help them physically, how much money they could save. And this is another great opportunity to talk about doing it with their friends. Reset is better when you do it with people. So I like to tell people, hey, I mean, you're getting a free reset. So who do you know that you'd like to do this with you? Y'all can both do the free reset and then get started on your stuff together. It's a really good opportunity to start helping somebody share and earn. Okay, here are a few slides that I saw that are great for stories. Um, Obviously, if you have one, you're super creative at social media and graphics, go make your own. These are available on other. Let's see, where did I think I got these on the Andrea Derrick site, but I'm happy to share these in our Dream Team chat. Um, but I love how she, in some of these slides, like targeted certain audiences like nursing mama, soft reset and added protein with each step, veggies, fruit, and grilled chicken. And then you get to see her results. Here's one that has pictures of men. I like to do that because, sometimes men don't want to do the other things, but they see the results of reset and they're like, oh, I think I'll try that. And then here's one that has a little bit of information about reset, what it is. Mom of five, a 3-day reset, putting nutrition first. The results speak for themselves. I love that. Here's another one with real results. I like this bottom one because you can see the transformation, like full body in her face, in her chest, everywhere. And then here's another great one. And I love that in all of these, she's talking about putting nutrition first. It's not just this quick fix, magic pill kind of thing. I mean, this is literally about establishing new habits and putting nutrition first. And then I like this one that shows the dates on it so that they can see this really is 3 days. It's not me, years later in the same outfit. So these are all just really, really great ways to get going talking about it. And like, don't sleep on this, y'all. Free reset is huge. Not just for what it means for your business, but what it means for your customers. So what kind of questions do you guys have? I know for sure when you are helping somebody purchase, if you're making a link, then make sure that you add the reset in and then put the code in, all caps, reset. And you can do it as a one-time order. If they want to subscribe and have it every month, you can do that, but add it to your cart as a one-time order otherwise, and then make sure you put that code in there.